And then let's see here. What is this? Curry Ringy hitting me up with something. What is this link? Curry Ringy. You know everything has to be related to VTubers these days, right? Here you go. Trump assassination version. I hope Trump's assassination attempt will inspire others to kill these horrible, senile world leaders. Thank you, Mila VTuber, as it were. Atlas, Catboy, why is it always the femboys, dude? There was a fucking assassination attempt on Trump and they fucking missed. We were so close to being safe. This is breaking news, by the way. Chat, remember, I'm the one that's the problem. I'm the one bringing the politics into VTubing. I'm the issue because I don't have the right politics. You know, if I jump on my Twitter and I'd celebrate the almost assassination on Trump, I would be welcomed with open arms. I'd be a good VTuber. Hell, man. Femboy V-tweeter. I'm shocked!
Well, not that shocked.
V-tweeters. Imagine being a fucking V-tweeter. Get ready to see more of this. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Curry Ringy to do the fucking Twitter sewage crawl and find all these little rats who are going to celebrate a fucking assassination attempt. Like, you have to be out of your fucking mind to celebrate an assassination. Hell, they have so much hate. As much as I dislike Biden, as much as I would not want to see him be president this fall, hell, I would not celebrate an assassination on him, because that's unhinged. Ah! I was trying to suppress my hiccups and it made a burp noise instead. Tweets remind you of the famous meme, this does not look good on paper. True and real. And with that, we can segue into all of the weird fucking people from yesterday's events. What a perfect time. What a perfect time, dude. I'll bring up the tweet that I made this morning, my morning, as it were. After calling out some of the people who were expressing disappointment in a non-joking manner that Trump was not shot, there were a lot of people who came out of the woodwork trying to do the very typical gotcha, like, you know, the smuggy of, oh, but I thought you liked edgy jokes. Ah. And so I kind of got sick of reading it, and I just like, this is just like obviously some random burner account that I decided to take as an example because it was like the last one that came across my dash feed. Random burner account said, okay, when did Kirsche suddenly become okay with acting like a triggered snowflake? What the fuck? You guys are acting like all the triggered people who try to cancel people over stupid jokes. You know, the ones you laugh at and make fun of? What the fuck are you guys doing? This is the you guys hated. Not once did I ever at anyone's sponsors. Not once did I say anyone should be deplatformed. Not once did I say anything about taking action against any of these people. I expressed that it's a very disgusting point of view to go out on Twitter and express disappointment that someone you disagree with politically didn't get fucking assassinated. And in the same breath, while you wished the shooter didn't miss him, you make light of the situation where innocents actually died because he did miss. And a lot of these people are trying to claim it's a joke. There's a huge difference between a joke and expressing disappointment that an assassin didn't succeed. There are plenty of jokes about the situation that happened yesterday. There are plenty of people making fun of the shooter. There are people making fun of the shooter, as they should. And someone even, let me see if I got it in a tab here, just to double check it. This Artez Zinohep is a very, I'm pretty sure they're a burner account as well, like a low follower count, but they're constantly up in my replies arguing in bad faith all the time, which is why it's just like, I reply to some of these people just for public context, even though I know that they're going to keep moving the goalposts and keep trying to make an argument that doesn't exist because they want to catch me in some kind of like actual hypocritical gotcha. Unfortunately for them, I am the most consistent streamer. Whenever I would do like nostalgia streams, it would basically be like a loop, right? Like 4 years ago, I would have said almost the exact same thing as I said today, maybe with a slightly different wording. And I said, if this were to happen to Biden, I wouldn't be wishing the assassination attempt had succeeded. There are plenty of memes being made about the situation, none of which are expressing disappointment that the shooter had missed. And these people either missed my context because they're idiots or because they're being disingenuous. And they posted like actual memes, right? Like Lee Harvey Oswald in heaven watching the shooter miss Trump from a few meters away. Making fun of the shooter's aim. JFK in hell watching the shooter miss. The Donald Trump shooter. Like these are actually funny memes because they're making fun of the shooter. They're not expressing personal disappointment that the shooter missed. You can't argue with these people? Oh, absolutely not. You cannot argue with these people. You cannot. And then there are some people here I call absolute bullshit that y'all wouldn't right-wingers mock dead children, whether they're school shooting victims or trans. Y'all call for a damn civil war every other day, even though this is how you know that they build like straw men of us in their heads, and they never have actually listened to anything that I say, right? Right? Dude, Kirsche, what are you doing? Seriously, like, f the guy and those who support him, but why are you going out and picking fights like this? Trying to moderate edgy jokes now? What the hell are you doing? Not a fan of the fossil or orange, but dude, these are edgy jokes making fun of the shooter. Edgy jokes are different from expressing personal disappointment. I genuinely cannot tell the difference between people acting disingenuously and people with low IQ in half of these Twitter threads, right? Like, I cannot tell the difference. And this person has been also reply guying. You would, don't lie, you absolutely would. At least be honest with yourself for once in your life. Chat. Oh, my favorite schizo. You would 100% be joking about it, you disingenuous piece of shit. Chat, how many times have I said, I wish the Democrats would stop using Biden. I wish they would let Grandpa go home and sit in front of the TV and eat his ice cream. And I have you guys in chat get mad at me for saying that. You're like, Biden's a terrible person. He deserves everything bad. And it's like, I know he's a terrible person. I'm not defending him. I don't like him. But I don't like seeing him be propped up like a fucking chess piece. Just let him go home. Stay home! Stay home, minna! It's Twitter. They have very low IQ. It's the same people that can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. A drowning man will clasp at straw. It's sad, for real. Like, I have never once expressed anyone to do anything violent to Biden. And I have been very kind, I would say, to him even. And even when I talk about things like January 6th and bringing your grievances directly to the politicians in power, chat, I will never remember whether it was Chile or Peru. I'm sorry, I'll never remember which country it was. I talk about how in either Chile or Peru, they had massive protests in the street against their communist government, and they dragged journalists and politicians out of buildings, dumped red paint on them, again with a massive fucking crowd, dumped red paint on them to paint them as either communist or communist sympathizers, and then left them alone. It wasn't violent, it was paint. Nobody got shot, nobody got beat, nobody got harmed. That was the kind of thing that I want to see. I want to see people doing things like that aren't violent, that aren't shooting people, right? That is a very based way to go to your politicians and say, we're sick of your shit. We're sick of you treating us like garbage, but we're not gonna sink to your level. We're just gonna show people your true colors. Never forget to archive every single thing they do because they'll 100% deny them propagating their lies. Oh, of course, of course. Did they do it silently? Because that's still violent. The American pastime of tar and feathering. Exactly, that one was Chile. I'm glad you guys can remember, because like I reference it so often, and I know I went through all of the articles about it when it happened on stream, but my memory's bad, dude. I can't remember. And Cap, I constantly have to deal with these weird Twitter freak people trying to catch me in a inconsistency, and it's just like, it's not gonna happen, man. I do my very best to not be hypocritical. And when I'm in the middle of a thought where you guys in chat point out, hey Kirsche, doesn't this kind of conflict with something you said before? I like out loud and streamer brain kind of work out like, oh, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe this isn't a correct line of thinking. You know, maybe I gotta reconsider my position here. Imagine that, being able to take in more information and alter your belief system based on it. I'm for creatine, thank you for the 2. Keep Salka Alpaca away from Cap. He'll eat him! The delicious Japanese alpaca. You're still not happy with the Destiny implications? Oh, I'll get to Destiny, don't you worry. Don't you worry. But this guy tried, like, these people are trying to make it as a joke. And I think anybody calling what Tricky did a joke is engaging disingenuously from the get-go. They either know it wasn't a joke, but they want to gunt guard, basically, or they're so dumb that they cannot tell the difference between someone expressing personal disappointment and someone making a joke. And this guy she literally says in this clip that jokes right after a tragedy are usually the best time to make them. Yes. And people were editing the image of Trump and his fist constantly. People were editing the image of the shooter's body constantly. They were making memes. They were making jokes. They were not expressing disappointment that Trump did not die. I have an entire folder, probably of like 100 different edits of when the Russian ambassador to Turkey got assassinated. Not once have I ever said that the Russian ambassador deserved that I was glad he got shot, that it was a good thing that it happened. Not once did I ever praise what happened in that situation or express disappointment that the gunman didn't shoot more people. Pretty sad about that. You've seen Tricky dismantle woke chatters going after her for the Egypt thing. Propose we temporarily place commies in waste management. Sideways, thank you for the 5. Your biggest issue with these people is even if you were inconsistent in some way, so what? Where's the rule where you can't have an exception? I mean, it depends on what you're inconsistent on, right? It very much depends on what it is. But these people like to exploit the consistency that people who try to live principled have, because they don't have principle. All they have is like this weird power grab where they want to appear to be the better person than you are. So this person also goes on to say, she then immediately jokes about a trans person shooting up a church and bringing up how it was the testosterone that made them aggressive. Joking about a shooter perpetuating a crime is always the correct thing to do. Like, why? These are like the people who are just like, you can't joke about Hitler. And it's like, the most anti-Hitler thing to do is joke about Hitler. Why would you take him seriously? Why would I not joke about the f***ing trans idiot who shot up a school? Why would I give them legitimacy? Why would I do that? Why ever joke about the victims? Exactly. And so I responded, the perpetrator of a heinous crime is always fair to joke about. Not once did I ever state, I wish the trans person had gotten more of them before being taken out, which would be the equivalent to the people wishing the shooter didn't miss Trump. Genuinely cannot tell if you're being purposefully disingenuous or merely misconstruing things. You don't get it. He's literally the devil. Even yesterday, when all of this happened, I even made the joke about Beanie Man, and I was like, I don't want to start saying civil war is inevitable, because I don't, right? Like, I'm too low IQ to know what else could possibly get us out of this situation, right? But I don't want to claim civil war is inevitable, because civil war is bad. Nobody actually wants to be in a civil war. Spineless cowards who deleted their post. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of the spineless cowards that deleted their posts. As a Slav, you're surprised they didn't do the whole balcony allergy thing? It seems more discreet than a gunman and has a higher success rate. Oh yeah, they deleted the post. Who deleted which post? Who deleted which post here? I don't know which one you guys are specifically talking about. So this morning, after seeing enough of these people do weasel wordy things, my response was like, yeah, I know this is a burner account. I know I'm not replying to this for the sake of the burner account. It's just to make a point. It's just to get the message out there for other people who see this kind of behavior on Twitter so that you guys know what kind of people that you're dealing with. When I'm weaker than you, I ask for freedom because that is according to your principles. When I'm stronger than you, I take away your freedom because that is according to my principles. These types of people will harangue you, dox you, contact your sponsors, mass report you on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, try to get you fired from your job, send messages to your spouse or parents or children, smear your name in every which way they can with their distortion of the truth and gotchas that they've built up in their mind if you have edgy humor. But if you dare to point out those same people who claim to detest edgy humor, then start calling for violence, showing their anger and disappointment that a political rival was not killed, and how that's a bad thing, they don a Cheshire grin while claiming, but I was merely joking. Isn't that what you do? Oh my, who is the triggered snowflake now? What a hypocrite. All they have are lies and distortion to browbeat you into compliance and letting them walk all over you. These people just want to virtue signal. They just want to feel good about being morally better than you are. They hate you. They hate the things you say. Even if they don't know what you say, they will make it up in their own minds and decide that's what you said. They are not acting in any sort of good faith and should not be engaged with. This is why when the sweet baby thing really kicked off months after I started talking about it, and the journalists started circling the wagon, started attacking Cabrutus, started rewriting history, I said, do not engage with the journalists. Do not reply to them. Show everyone else how they are lying, but if you engage with the journalists, you engage in a losing battle. Because anything you say will be twisted and used against you and everyone else who agrees with you. Trump's rhetoric got us to this point. Literal, look at what you made me do logic. It's not even Trump's rhetoric. For 8 fucking years, Democratic politicians have been saying that Trump is a white supremacist. He encourages white supremacists. That his voter base are bad people. They have been encouraging dehumanizing language for 8 years, and they want to make you believe that you are the one who perpetuated the dehumanizing language. Don't believe your lying eyes. Believe what we tell you. We tell you what to think. The amount of people that I imagine would be incredibly happy if, like, I got banned and could not say anything online anymore. Probably quite a lot. Probably quite a few of them. Not gonna lie, the Trickywi ones bothered you a lot more than it probably should have. No, I think it bothered the exact correct amount. The exact correct amount. So Rev is how I saw this, and I was like, holy f, that is grotesque. Tricky tweeted out, remember to always shoot your shot. Surely you won't fucking miss. Angry emoji. And it's like, if that was the only thing she posted, I'd be like, that's really fucking weird, but it could be a joke, right? Like, at that point, I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable with this, but it could be a joke. But when someone, possibly in her audience, I don't know if Night of Nights watches her, said, not the time or place, Tricky, her response was, I don't give a fuck. The unfollow button is right there. She lost any plausible deniability that this was a joke when she responded with that. This is why it is not a joke, and this is why this is what she actually believes. Both the angry, disappointed tone in the first tweet, coupled with the I don't give a fuck, unfollow me if you don't like it, shows that she was actually disappointed that Trump did not get shot. Yeah, she said it with her chest. When people tell you who they are, fucking believe them. If you support her saying this, that's fine. I'm not going to change your mind, right? This is your kind of politics. This is your kind of rhetoric. Please have fun with her, right? But when you say something with your whole chest like this, stand by it. This is what she believes. It is not a joke. Oh, man. Walking back with the I've educated myself is crazy, too. What is it to educate yourself about? Trying to murder is bad? Like, damn, right? All right? Yeah, believe them when they tell you who they are. Whenever I make some sort of, like, tweets, like when I called out Uki for being unironically racist to white people, a lot of Twitter freaks were just like, this you, Kirsche? And posting my defense of Kyoresu singing a rap song and saying the N-word in that rap song. It's like, why are you posting this at me like it's some sort of gotcha? Yes, I do defend her still. Yes, I stand by what I said. No, it is not racist to sing the N-word in a rap song. If they didn't want people to sing the N-word in the rap song, they shouldn't have used it. That is not racist. It's like, it's the lyrics of the song. It's like, it's very weird. It's very weird that people try to get me on a gotcha like that, because it's like, no, I do stand by that, actually. F*** you. I didn't delete the tweet. You really didn't expect to see multiple VTubers ripping the mask off last night, but here we are, I guess. I'm not surprised it happened, because once again, the dehumanizing rhetoric of it's okay Trump is evil, Trump is a Nazi, anything bad that happens to him or his supporters is deserved, it doesn't surprise me that these people will come out and say these disgusting things and think that it's overwhelmingly acceptable to do so because they've been told for 8 years that it is overwhelmingly acceptable to do so. So they don't expect any backlash, they expect praise. These are the people who like to state words are violence and then will justify violence towards anyone that uses words they don't like. Yeah. It's like, I gotta be the canary in the coal mine that people point to as the big bad evil political VTuber, so the other people who actually have really bad political leanings don't get caught. Words are violence, but silence is also violence. And then she deleted the post because she was getting backlash over it. And then she responded to Rev over here and said, I didn't care about your reply to me, per se, of course, but I did delete it immediately after because it was in bad taste, and I educated myself about the whole situation. Impulse tweet after opening Twitter. It was absolutely a bad joke. Nice try at damage control. You don't care, yet you responded. You don't care, yet you tweeted that disgusting shit. Get out. And it's just like, how do you educate yourself about wanting someone dead? Yeah, there's no education here. She knew what she was tweeting when she did it, and some of the people trying to defend her are just like, oh, she was just hopping on a trend because everybody else was making fun of it. Again, there is a difference between making fun of the shooter for being a bad shot and expressing disappointment and anger that he missed. Let me see if I can look at her apology, because I don't remember it off the top of my hands. Here we go. I messed up with a very poor taste tweet. I made an impulsive, stupid joke in the heat of the moment. It wasn't a joke. We know it wasn't a joke. And immediately regretted it. I jumped the gun, not knowing the full story of the situation. To jump on the bandwagon of missing your shot tweets, believing that no one was harmed. I've educated myself now, and I'm incredibly sorry. So even in her apology, to jump on the bandwagon of missing your shot tweets, believing that no one was harmed. She's not apologizing for what she said about being angry that the shooter missed Trump. She's only apologizing because people brought to her attention that the shooter killed innocent people. So this still isn't even an apology. I've educated myself now, and I'm incredibly sorry. While I'm all for a good joke, according to people who watch her, she gets upset at edgy jokes and won't cover them in her React Andy streams. This was not one of them, and it was highly insensitive. I would never advocate for anyone getting hurt. That is quite literally what you did. I guess unless you don't see Trump as a person. It was a childish mistake. The JK tweet was an attempt to lighten the mood, but it made it seem even more insensitive to a very serious situation. I'm very sorry. The not giving a f tweet was directed at a replier, not to the situation yourself. The replier was telling you about the situation. You can try to obfuscate it all you want, and I'm sure a lot of people will believe you. And even if they don't believe you, I'm sure they'll agree with you because they share the same political opinion. But you shouldn't lie about it. When you say something with your whole chest, stand by it. This just reads to me, like somebody else said earlier, like a chat GPT apology where she is scared about the damage she will do to sponsors. As someone who frequently talks politics, it is a minefield to navigate. You have to be very careful about what you say and how you say things. She doesn't want to own it. And it's like, do I fuck up sometimes? I'm sure I word things poorly on occasion. I'm sure occasionally I've even apologized in the middle of talking about something because I fucked up saying something. Or I even preface it with like, hey, I don't know how to say this without it sounding a little weird, but I'm gonna try my best. Nim has wrangled. Yeah, Nim's even had to wrangle me, right? But it's like, when I do say something, I stand by it. Without the Rev reply for the apology, you could see this having been a bad joke, but afterwards, Jesus Christ. And she deleted her JK tweet as well, which is what I retweeted. How do I go back further? Here we go. I said, it kind of grotesque to see VTubers cheering for an assassination attempt. This is what years of propaganda and dehumanizing language leads to. The JK comes off as hollow after the I don't give a fuck. The unfollow button is right there. And she deleted the JK tweet as well. Translator's note, I'm sorry I went mask off and showed my true colors as a sociopath, causing me to bleed followers who only watch me for entertainment. As someone who talks politics as a VTuber, If other VTubers want to share their political opinions, I think they have absolutely every right to do so, right? I don't want to say, no, they can't share their political opinion. That would be hypocritical of me. I want them to be able to share it, but I also, you have to understand when you share things. If what you share is actually bad, it's going to make people upset. See, Kirsche, what you just said is maybe it'd be okay to kill Trump if he actually did what lefties have convinced themselves what Trump is doing. He hasn't done that. He hasn't said anything of the sort. He hasn't showed a plan of the sort. It's just like, it's like back in 2016, somebody literally was like, Trump is going to issue permits to people. They're gonna be able to go on transgender hunting sprees. And I'm like, what reality are you living in? Does anyone live in reality anymore? This all boils down to the same problem. They can't tell the difference between fiction and reality. Fiction says that Trump is an evil Nazi and that will kill the gays and migrants and put women in birthing farms. Put me in the birthing farm!